From the dawn of humanity, we've sought to understand and control the forces of nature. Fire, water, wind, each harnessed, each shaping our civilizations. But the 20th century unveiled a force unlike any other. The atom, a universe of energy locked inside the smallest particles. Our understanding of physics reached a point where we could not only unleash this energy, but weaponize it. My friends, this is the story of the atomic bomb, a history both fascinating and terrifying. We'll journey from the clandestine labs of the Manhattan Project, where brilliant minds raced against time, driven by the urgency of war. We'll delve into the heart-wrenching aftermath of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, forever etched in history as the only instances of nuclear weapons used in warfare. But this isn't just about the past. This is about understanding the profound implications of these weapons, their potential to obliterate everything we hold dear. We'll explore the chilling era of the Cold War, where the threat of nuclear annihilation loomed large, and examine how close we came to global catastrophe during the Cuban Missile Crisis. Join me as we unravel this complex tapestry of science, history, and the enduring quest for peace in the atomic age. Picture this. It's 1939. The world is on the brink of another world war, and whispers of a weapon of unimaginable power are circulating in the highest levels of government. This was the genesis of the Manhattan Project. The United States, Great Britain, and Canada embarked on a top-secret mission. The best minds in physics, chemistry, and engineering gathered in secret locations. Their goal to unlock the secrets of the atom before Nazi Germany could. The stakes couldn't have been higher. It all boils down to Einstein's famous equation, E equals mc squared. A tiny amount of mass can be converted into an unbelievable amount of energy. Scientists aim to trigger a chain reaction, splitting uranium atoms. The Trinity test on July 16, 1945, announced the atomic age. The blinding flash, the mushroom cloud, forever changed human history. The success of the Manhattan Project raised profound moral and ethical questions. The world watched in horror as Hiroshima was reduced to rubble, a landscape scarred by a weapon unlike anything ever seen. Just 3 days later, Nagasaki suffered the same fate. The use of atomic bombs on these two cities in August 1945 remains one of the most controversial acts in history. The devastation was unlike anything the world had ever witnessed. The bombs, each more powerful than 20,000 tons of TNT, unleashed a wave of heat, light, and radiation. Buildings vaporized, shadows etched onto walls, and tens of thousands perished instantly. But the horror didn't end there. Radiation sickness emerged, claiming thousands more in the days, weeks, and years to come. The human cost was staggering, a grim testament to the destructive power unleashed. The bombings serve as a stark reminder of the human cost of conflict and the devastating power of the atom. Amidst the devastation, there were also stories of resilience and hope. Chapter 3. The Cold War, a nuclear standoff. The ashes of World War II were still settling when a new conflict emerged, one that cast a long shadow over the second half of the 20th century, the Cold War. It was a war unlike any other, fought not on battlefields with conventional armies, but in the realms of ideology, espionage, and the terrifying prospect of nuclear annihilation. On one side stood the United States and its allies, champions of democracy and capitalism. On the other, the Soviet Union and the Eastern Bloc, proponents of communism. Both sides possessed nuclear weapons, each capable of obliterating the other in a matter of hours. The Cold War was a time of constant tension, a high-stakes chess match where one wrong move could have had catastrophic consequences. It was a time when the phrase mutually assured destruction became a chilling reality, a stark reminder of the precariousness of our existence. The arms race was on. Both superpowers poured vast resources into developing ever more powerful and sophisticated nuclear weapons. Intercontinental ballistic missiles, capable of delivering nuclear warheads across continents in minutes, became the ultimate deterrent. The world watched, with bated breath, as both sides conducted nuclear tests, each explosion a terrifying display of power and a stark reminder of the stakes involved. The very air we breathed, the water we drank, became contaminated with radioactive fallout. a silent testament to the deadly potential of the weapons we had created. But the Cold War wasn't just about bombs and missiles. It was a clash of ideologies, a battle for the hearts and minds of people around the world. Chapter 4. The Cuban Missile Crisis. 13 days on the brink. October 1962. The world held its breath as the United States and the Soviet Union stood at the precipice of nuclear war. For 13 tense days, the fate of humanity hung in the balance. This, my friends, was the Cuban Missile Crisis, the closest we've ever come to a full-blown nuclear exchange. Imagine this. American spy planes discover Soviet nuclear missile sites under construction in Cuba, just 90 miles off the coast of Florida. These weren't just any missiles. These were weapons capable of reaching major American cities in minutes. The threat was real, immediate and terrifying. President John F. Kennedy faced an agonizing dilemma. A military strike against Cuba could trigger a Soviet response, potentially leading to a catastrophic escalation of conflict. The world watched, hearts pounding, as the two superpowers stared each other down, each armed with the power to destroy the other. For 13 agonizing days, the world held its breath. Diplomatic channels ran hot, with messages relayed back and forth between Washington and Moscow. The tension was palpable, the pressure immense, as leaders on both sides grappled with the unthinkable consequences of their actions. In the end, it was diplomacy, not destruction, that prevailed. Kennedy and Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev found a way out of the abyss, agreeing to a deal that averted nuclear war. The Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba, and the United States pledged not to invade the island nation. The Cuban Missile Crisis was a sobering wake-up call for the entire world. It exposed the fragility of peace in the nuclear age, the terrifying ease with which misunderstandings and miscalculations could lead to unimaginable destruction. Chapter 5. Nuclear Treaties, a Fragile Hope for the Future. The shadow of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the ever-present tension of the Cold War, the near miss of the Cuban Missile Crisis. These events underscored a chilling truth. We had entered an age where humanity possessed the power to destroy itself. The question became, could we control this power? Could we forge a path towards a safer, more secure future in the nuclear age? One of the most significant milestones in this journey was the signing of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, NPT, in 1968. This landmark treaty aimed to limit the spread of nuclear weapons, promote cooperation in the peaceful uses of nuclear energy, and work towards the ultimate goal of nuclear disarmament. The NPT has been remarkably successful in preventing the widespread proliferation of nuclear weapons. However, challenges remain. Some countries continue to develop their nuclear capabilities, and the threat of nuclear terrorism casts a long shadow over the 21st century. Beyond the NPT, a number of other treaties and agreements have been negotiated to reduce nuclear arsenals, limit the development of new and more destructive weapons, and establish mechanisms for communication and confidence building between nuclear-armed states. These agreements, while imperfect, represent a crucial step towards a safer world. They demonstrate that even in the face of geopolitical tensions and mistrust, nations can come together to address common threats and work towards a more secure future. But treaties alone are not enough. Outrun our shared future in the nuclear age. The story of the atomic bomb is a complex tapestry of scientific achievement, political maneuvering, and profound moral dilemmas. It's a story that forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about our capacity for both creation and destruction. But above all, it's a story that underscores our shared responsibility for the future. The knowledge we've unlocked, the power we've unleashed, cannot be put back in the box. We can't erase the horrors of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, nor can we undo the anxieties of the Cold War, but we can learn from these experiences. We can choose to chart a different course, one that prioritizes diplomacy, cooperation, and the pursuit of peace. The future is not preordained. It's shaped by the choices we make today. Let us choose wisely. Let us work together to build a world where the threat of nuclear war is but a distant memory, and the promise of a brighter future burns as brightly as the sun.